Welcome back to more Kingdom Hearts.
The first Kingdom Hearts part we do in 2018 is Atlantica. It's kind of poetic.
Let me just say this here. This is by far, and like there's like no, I don't even think there's like competition for this. This is by far the worst world in the entire game. I've never like, I'll say this here. This is my least favorite world in the entire series.
I'm gonna have to think. I'm not. Yeah, maybe. Like, the only thing I'll give this one is at least they tried, like, and make it a bit interesting with, like, you're a mermaid, but it controls like shit, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So, here's my thing. So, I don't mind in Cage games when they give you, like, the kind of, like, change the combat a little bit. So, like, in Cage 2, when you're, like, the lion Sora, I don't mind that. But here it doesn't work, and I understand it's their first time doing this, but the execution really sucks, because it's so hard to fight with Sora, because he controls so poorly. I kind of wish they would have, like, changed it a little bit in the HD remix. Like, maybe just control a little bit better, but it never happens, and I hate this world. And we're here for 3 parts, so we're gonna have to find something to talk about probably in the next 2 parts.
You had a tough time opening that red shell, right then?
It's hard. Okay, so like I said, this control's really weird. So what you're doing is like you have to use, I think, the square and I think circle button to move up and down, which gets old really fast because I'm just like, why can't I just use the analog stick? Which I understand why, but it sucks. And a lot of the enemies in this world take forever to kill because you're not high level enough. Even if you're, I mean, if you're like level 99, I mean, it's gonna be a cakewalk. But you know what I'm trying to say. It takes forever to kill enemies here. Also, traversing through this world takes forever because of how slow you go until we get an upgrade, like, towards the end of the world. This world sucks. It's awful.
It's the most cryptic world as well. Like, there's some, like, weird shit you have to do which the game doesn't really, like, highlight properly. Like, there's one part near Ariel's World where you have to hold onto a random dolphin. Like, randomly there to, like, take you near Ursula, but...
And I'm gonna say this here. This world, I believe when I recorded it, took me 2 hours to do on my first attempt. And it's not even because, like, I got stuck. It's because, we're gonna see later on, that dolphin section, because the dolphin kept running away from me, and I could not catch him. And I was so, like, 200% mad recording this. I don't get that mad at video games that often, but I was livid recording this. Because I'm like, that's why, like, I'm glad we're recording this today so I can delete this from my computer and never have to do it again.
And because of the way KH1 works, you can't do context-sensitive actions until you clear out enemies. So you can't actually grab onto that dolphin until you clear out, like, the enemies in that, like, area. And I swear they don't stop coming. Like, it feels like you're just fighting forever.
And what's worse is I think starting in the next part, we're gonna... Well, these guys suck because they'll, like, teleport away from you, and that gets annoying very quickly. But, the worst part is there's an enemy, it's like a big jellyfish, and when you attack it, it splits into little jellyfish, and it takes forever to kill, and it's so annoying.
I think if you use magic on those guys, like, you can destroy them without them splitting up, I'm pretty sure.
Well, no, because I've used, Thundara, I think it's what we have right now. We have our Thundara, I don't remember. I've recorded so far ahead of this part now, so I'm confused on what it is. But,
So I remember you have to kill a lot of those guys for, like, ultimate weapon grinding, so they drop, I think it's Mithril Stones or something? Or Thunder Stones. I think it might be Thunder Stones. So I remember grinding them quite a lot. You used the wrong, you have to use Stap!
Yeah, but I forgot, and I never do the mushrooms. I never care enough. I probably should.
I've done them. I've done them. Back in my day.
Back in my day, young man, I always did the mushrooms.
Oh god. Just like one of my Japanese animes.
But, like, here's the thing. Like, I don't really, I like some parts of Atlantica. Like, I like the music. I think that's really nice. And, that's about it. I think, as a world, it kind of all blends. I know, because we talked about this the other day about Neverland when we get to that. But, like, everything in this world blends together, and it really confuses me, because I get lost a lot whenever I come to this world. And I've been playing this game for 15 years now, and well, not 15, but probably 14, but, you know, I still get lost when I come here. Even though there's arrows telling you where to go, I still get lost, and I don't know how that's possible.
How is that possible? What could possibly go wrong?
But, like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this world. I'm gonna ask you this. So, okay, so I mean, everybody knows how kind of bad this world is in KH2. What do you think's worse, this in KH1 or this in KH2?
In KH2 is harmless enough, like, you're doing, like, barely, like, rhythm games, and I guess, like, this world takes longer, and I guess it's more kind of, like, story, quote-unquote, relevant. Whereas like in KH2 is literally a minigame world, you can kind of ignore it.
You have a fair point, but I disagree. I'd rather do the KH2 world than this, just because,
that's what I was saying, sorry. Like,
oh, okay.
That's what I meant. I said, like, but it's a harmless minigame world in KH2 compared to this, where this is like, this has a cool concept behind it, but like, this takes longer, and I'd rather like just do a dumb minigame world and play through this.
Because, like, I like the idea of, like, they're trying to, like, change the gameplay up a little bit, because, well, at least, like, make Sora look different, because they're doing that in 3 so far, because, like, we've seen, like, the Toy Story world in 3, and we're gonna get to it, I know, but, like, the rumored Monsters, Inc. world.
It's not rumored, it's fucking in the game. How much more proof do you need?
I need them to confirm. I'm waiting for Kingdom Hearts. I'm waiting for Square Enix to confirm it. Because I don't believe, even if it looks real, I am not gonna believe anything I hear from game companies anymore. Because I have been lied to enough, and it's slander, and I don't like it.
It's 100% in the game.
I'm gonna laugh when it gets announced that it's not real, and then everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, Lance was right," because it's gonna happen.
All those people who don't know you, not just like me. Atlantica, he knew what he was talking about. True.
But, like, okay, so, like, I love the idea of, like, Sora looking different, because, like, they do it, like, in KH2 quite a bit, because, like, you'll go to the Tron world and stuff, and you look different, and well, I mean, we're gonna see in the next world, when we go to it, you're gonna look different, or Sora look different. I love stuff like that, because it's, you know, it freshens things up. But God, when you change the gameplay style to where it's practically kind of unplayable at points, I hate it.
Yeah, because, like, this isn't even only making Sora look different, it's making him have a different moveset based on, like, the form he's in. And, like, just Pride Lands in KH2 did that a million times better than, like, this game, because Lion Sora is really fun to control.
Yeah, because, like, that's the thing, is, like, don't get like, Lion Sora, it does prohibit you from using, like, drives and certain things.
Yeah, but, like, it's fun.
Yeah, it's still fun. It's at least more... They find a way to work around it, I think, where you still, like, can go really fast and stuff. Because you can beat Pride Lands, and, like, I think it's actually one of the shorter worlds in the game, because it's optional. So, it doesn't take very long.
Well, like, this world's optional in KH1. So, you don't have to do Atlantica if you don't want to.
I didn't know this was optional. Wow.
Yeah, like, because there's, like, a split pathway. You don't have to do Halloween Town and Atlantica, you can do one or the other. So you can either do this or Halloween Town. Like, it's up to you. You don't have to do both.
So you're telling me right now I could have just skipped this and we didn't have to talk over this world?
Yeah, but you kind of need to do it in, like, LP purposes. But, like, for the speedrun trophy, for example, you can, just skip this world.
Damn, not here.
I'm pretty sure Tron's optional on KH2 as well, because I think I forgot to do it in my first playthrough. Like, I never finished doing Tron.
The second visit's optional. I think the first visit you have to do.
Yeah, after that I don't think you have to finish it.
Because Pride Lands is the same way. I don't think you ever have to do Pride Lands. You may have to do the first visit, but I know the second visit you never have to do.
You don't. I don't think you even have to, I don't think you even have to. I can't remember.
Because, like, KH2 has the most optional worlds, I'm pretty sure. Because, like, you don't have to do, well, Atlantica in that game. You don't have to really do Winnie the Pooh. You don't have to do the second visit to Tron. You don't have to do Pride Lands at all, I don't think, so...
God, I wish Winnie the Pooh were me.
But Daddy...
Are you excited to see Percy Jackson's dad?
Oh, yes. Yes. I can't wait.
Also, can I just say this here? Donald's design in Atlantica freaks me out so much. It really looks weird, and I don't like it.
The problem is like, in Pride Lands, like, he's still a bird, isn't he? So, like, at least it's some kind of, like, the same kind of, like, animal. Not the same species, but the same basic animal. You're putting, like, a bird and an octopus here. It just creeps me out. I don't like it. No, sir, I don't like it.
So, I think that's freaky, but, like, Goofy as a turtle doesn't look as weird to me, if that makes any sense.
I think just, like, octopuses are kind of creepy looking anyway, because of the tentacles and stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, seeing a cartoon duck attached to that is a bit of...
So, like, okay, so this is really off topic. It's kind of on topic. So, like, you know how everybody has, like, irrational fears? So, like, is it octopus or octopi? I don't know.
It's oh, I actually found this out the other day, like, people actually think it's octopi, but it's actually octopuses is the plural, not octopi, contrary to popular belief. It's octopuses. There's
Octopuses
your random fact of the day.
Octopuses really freak me out, because, like, and I used to never be scared of them, but until, like, a year or two ago, I saw this video, and it was an octopus, like, in this, like, jar, and, like, it was, like, putting its tentacles against, like, the jar, and it kind of, like, cracked the jar.
Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen this,
It freaked me out so hard. Like, I had a nightmare about it, man. Like, they tear it. It's like octopuses, crabs, and scorpions. All three of those freak me out.
Like, I remember there's a video of, like, it's this Japanese live stream where they have, like, a cam underwater, and a fucking, like, colossal squid just swims past. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, in Japanese, they're kind of, like, gasping and shit, and it's the most creepy thing you'd ever see. Just like this colossal squid just goes past.
See, a lot of people are scared of, like, snakes and spiders, and we're scared of octopuses and
well,
squids.
Creepy. Fucking, like, the sea's creepy. You don't know what's in the sea.
Exactly. There could be a giant octopus down there that could, like, come out and eat all of us or something, for all we know. We're gonna give somebody a nightmare now, but... Oh, and I just thought I made a pun. Give somebody a nightmare. We're talking over Kingdom Hearts.
Huh.
Hey.
Huh.
It's still... it's still, like, they're tentacles in general freak me out. I don't like them. They just... Nothing against octopuses. I'm sure they're very friendly and nice, but...
Yeah, I'm sure... I'll take one out for a drink. I'd fuck an octopus. Oh my god.
I mean, what I do on the weekends is my business, none of yours.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
These are like the giant squid octopus things we're talking about. They split up and they're annoying. These like random like submarine guys are okay. They're like if you hit them with like a thunder, they get paralyzed for a couple seconds and then you kill them. It's pretty simple. So like we were talking about this. So like history with Atlantica. Like what's your history with this movie world thing?
The history of movies, my sister used to watch Little Mermaid all the time, so I've seen Little Mermaid loads of times. So, history of the world, it's mainly the dolphin bit, like, I had no idea where to go, like, I had to consult a guide, like, my first time at some point, just like, I was there, I was like, what, it's like, hold on to this random-ass dolphin. So, okay. And, the problem is that KH1's, like, kind of tracking when you're hitting an enemy isn't very good anyway. Like, combine that with underwater, it's like, it's just a disaster.
So, we were talking about this before we got in the call, but I've actually never watched this movie fully. I've only seen parts of it, so like, I have a cousin who like used to love this movie. Whenever I'd go to her house, I'd watch it for 15 minutes and get bored. So like, I've never actually fully seen it. The only parts of this movie I've seen are like the beginning part, the Under the Sea song part, and the part where Ursula dies. That's the only 3 parts I've ever seen of this movie. So like, I have no idea what actually, like, what is canon from KH to like, or what's canon from the movie to whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. So like, for all I know, there could be a random shirtless Sora in this movie, and I just don't know about it.
Yes,
so.
like, that's the cut that they don't want you to see. I think, like, I think the first thing of note is that I think Ariel was, like, my first, like, kid Disney waifu. Like, when I was a young lad. I didn't know what sex was back then, but I'd be like, that
I love how you had to say, I didn't know what sex was back then. You could have just left it, and I wouldn't even have thought anything.
No. I had to clarify. I had to clarify.
So, like, history of the world, like, it's really just KH1? Like, I mean, because, like, when I first, because I brought this up, like, way back, but, like, I played KH2 before I played KH1, so, like, in poor confused, I think, I don't know how old I was probably 9 or 10, so, poor confused 9 or 10-year-old Lance had no idea what was even going on in KH2. To be fair, I didn't care. But I was just like, whatever. So, when I got to Atlantica, and I was like, why is this just like a singing minigame? Like, where does this come from? Like, this makes no sense. And this sounds really bad, because like, those minigames are so easy, but like, you know my history with like stupid musicals and games from Birth by Sleep. So when I first did the musical levels in Atlantica and KH2, I for the life of me could not beat it because I was so bad at it. And now I'm like, how was I ever this bad at this? And yeah, that's my history. And I played it in KH1 and I got stuck and I hated it. So yeah. That you could say about every Kingdom Hearts thing. I got stuck and I hated it. The end.
The end. That's Kingdom Hearts in a nutshell.